One students, we are starting the lesson again, the emergence of nationalism. Already we discussed. Then also once again, the above mentioned development led the people to ask a crucial question: what is this country of India and for whom it is meant? The answer that gradually emerged as India was the people of India. All the people, irrespective of color, caste, class, creed, language, and gender, and the country, its resources and system were meant for all of them. With this answer came the awareness that the British were exercising control over the resources of India and the lives of its people. And until this control was ended, India could not be for Indians. This consciousness began to be clearly started by political associations formed after 1850, especially those that came into being in 1870s and 1880s. Most of these were led by English educated professionals such as lawyers. The more important ones were Purna Sarvajanik Sabha, the Indian Association, the Madras Mahajan Sabha, the Bombay Presidency Association, and of course the Indian National Congress. Note the name Purna Sarvajanik Sabha. The literal meaning Sarvajanik is of and for all the people. Sarva means all, Janik means of the people. Though many of these associations functioned in a specific part of the country, their goal was stated as the goal of all the people of India, not those of any one region, community, or class. They worked with the idea that the people should be sovereign, a modern consciousness and the key features of nationalism. In other words, they believed that Indian people should be empowered to take decision regarding their affairs. Please underline. Already I think we underlined. The next part. The dissatisfaction with British rule intensified in 1870s and 1880s. The Arms Act was passed in 1878, dissolving Indians from possessing arms. Please underline. In the dissolving in the same year, the Vernacular Press Act was also enacted in an effort to silence those who were critical of the government. The act allowed the government to confiscate the assets of the newspaper, including their printing press, if the newspapers published anything that was found objectionable. In 1883, there was a furor over the attempt by the government to introduce the Ilbert Bill. Please underline. The bill provided for the trial of the British or European person by Indians and sought equality between British and Indian judges in the court. But when white opposition forced the government to withdraw the bill, Indians were enranked. The event highlighted the racial attitude of the British in India. Next, the need for an all-Indian organization to educate Indians has been felt since 1880s. But the Ilbert Bill controversy deepened this desire. The Indian National Congress was established when 72 delegates from all over the country met in Bombay in December 1885. The early leadership, the Dadabhai Naoroji, Feroz Shah Mehta and Badruddin Tyabji, V.C. Banerjee, Surendranath Banerjee, Ramesh Chandra Datta, S. Subramania Iyer, among others, are largely from Bombay and Calcutta. Naoroji, a businessman and publicist, settled in London, and for a time member of the British Parliament, guided the young nationalists. A retired British official, A. O. Hume, who also played a part in bringing Indians from various regions together, we have seen last week the one video in that we have seen the AO who started Indian National Congress, or we are considering him as the founding leader of Indian National Congress, and with the help of him, and he was a retired British official. He settled here in India itself at that time, and he helped the Indians to gather and make the association to overcome the problem with the British. So in 1870s onwards or 1880 onwards, people felt like that we need a national association or organization to fight against British people. Then many people, they came together in December 1885 were in Bombay, please underline, and the leaders Dadabhai Naoroji we already discussed in the video, and other people together, they came from different parts of the world, parts of India, and one of the person, that is the Naoroji, who was a businessman as well as a publicist. He was publishing many books, that also we heard in the last week video, and he was settled in London, and he was the member of British Parliament and guided the young nationalists. So with the help of Naoroji as well as A.O. Hume, we started our Indian National Congress, who become the sound or voice of Indians later. So you can underline A.O. Hume, who was what was his specialty. He was a retired British official who helped to bringing Indians from various parts together. Then, who did the Congress seek to speak for? A newspaper, the Indian Mirror, wrote in January 1886, the first National Congress at Bombay is the nucleus of a future parliament of the country and will lead to the good inconceivable magnitude of our countrymen. Then Tayabi I addressed the Congress as president of in 1887. Means the after making the National Congress, there was gathering means annual meeting every year, once in every year. Normally it is in December, and it stated in different places. In coming chapter, coming classes, means in 9th and 10th you will study that one, especially in 10th standard we will study Indian National Congress of 1990, 1920, 21, like that, where it happened and what was the main decision, like that things we will study. Because we have heard that Gandhiji, after the appearance of Gandhiji, what happened, the Satyagraha started, non-cooperation movement started, civil disobedience movement started, like that many things we heard. And when they took the decision, and who was the president of that particular Congress session meeting, like that things we will discuss, we will study in higher classes, especially in 10th standard. Okay. A nation in the making. How we are coming to the point of making a nation. It has often been said that the Congress in the first 20 years was moderate, and its objective and methods. Means the starting we have seen in the video, there was two groups of people in Congress. One was moderate. In first 20 years, it started in 1885 to 1905. Up to that time, they was working as a moderate. And what was their speciality, that already we discussed last video. Okay, during this period, it demanded a great voice for Indians in the government and in the administration. It wanted a legislative council to be made for representatives and give more power and introduce in provinces where none existed. So the moderates, they was asking for the their priority for the means the ruling by ourselves. For that purpose, we want a legislative council, and we want to select our own representative for that. And in some provinces already it started, and other provinces it was not there. So they are asking to the British government to start that one. It demanded that Indians be placed in the higher positions in the government. Second demand was we want to get the higher positions, like if you are a Supreme Court judge, like that positions Indians also want to get. For this purpose, it called for a civil service examination to be held in India as well as not just in London. And the civil service examination, what we are saying like that, IAS examination or UPSC exam like that, what we are calling nowadays, and that should be conducted here in India. By that, Indians can come to the high positions. So that was the method of working as a moderates in first 20 years. The demand for the Indianization of the administration was part of the most movement against racism, since most important jobs at that time were monopolized by white officials, and the British generally assumed that Indians could not be given position for a responsibility. So the moderates, they was asked for the good positions or the higher position for Indians. So the British people, they was not ready to give like that because of their attitude against the Indian races, or they was calling us blacks, and these black people or Indians are not civilized, so they was not ready to give any high job opportunity to Indians. So everything it was monopolized to whom? To the white people. Then, since British officials was sending a major part of for their salaries home, Indianization, it was hoped, could also reduce the drain of wealth to England. And why Indian National Congress asked for the Indianization of the officials? They was getting the higher salary and they was sending that salary to England, to their own home, so that we can stop it by if we are getting, the Indians are getting the job opportunities, they won't do like that. That also was another reason for that. Other demands include the separation of the judiciary from the executive and repeal of the Arms Act and freedom for of the speech and expression. Then the moderates, they asked other some demands also they had. First one, their demand for the judiciary should separate from the executive. In British people, they was keeping together. In Indian system, we are having three organs of administration. One is judiciary, executive and legislative. So like that, we Indians asked to make the judiciary separate from executive. Then another one want to recall or stop the act. Which act? Arms Act. Then they are asking for another one act was there to this vernacular language press act, that also want to stop. By that what we will get? We will get the freedom of speech and expression. This was the demands. So if your question is coming like that, what was the demand of the moderates? So you want to write first the demand for the administration in the hands of Indians, that with the help of legislative assembly like that and getting the good position, like that things you can say. Then next one, first one, it is the need for legislative council. Second one, need for high positions. That for that purpose they want to start here the civil service examination, like that things here in India itself. Then Indianization, that is the third demand, Indianization of the administration. Then next one, they was asking for the separation of judiciary from executive. Then fifth one, repeal of the Arms Act. Then sixth one, freedom of speech and expression. Then we are moving to next part. Okay, we will continue in next video.